House and Senate have finalized a budget agreement, and now it heads to the governor.
The state's budget is big. It is complex. So how do you know just where your tax money is going? 24-Hour News 8 political reporter Rick Albin's been looking into that.
Okay, first, don't let your eyes glaze over. We're not going to go through the budget line by line, but it is kind of instructive to get an idea of how your money is being spent by your elected officials. Perhaps more interesting right now because it seems inevitable that you're going to be asked to pay more to fix roads sooner or later, and this could help explain why. Let's start with some of the basics. First, the budget that will go into effect October 1st will total a little over $54.5 billion. That's a lot of cash, but not everybody's priorities get taken care of, even with all of that money. One of the most important expenditures for most lawmakers is in education. It totals nearly $16 billion. It'll go to K through 12 schools, community colleges, and higher ed. By far, the biggest share goes to K through 12. That's nearly $14 billion. Other big ticket items include health and human services at $25 billion, the biggest overall. And transportation, mainly roads and bridges, gets about $4 billion. Corrections, too. Management and budget and revenue sharing, economic development, all of those are over $1 billion. So it starts to add up. The general fund, think of that as that discretionary money, about $10 billion, and more or less that money can be moved around. But some of that money pays for things like matching funds to draw down more federal funds. For example, that big line item for health and human services, $25+ billion. Well, $4 billion of that comes from the general fund, in part to attract money from Washington for the rest of the budget. Okay, that's a lot of information. So here's the simple part. Broken down by the state spending nearly $150 million a day. That's $6,250,000 an hour, or about $104,000 a minute. For a more complete look at the budget, you can go to the Michigan Senate or House fiscal sites. The websites are on a link at our website at woodtv.com.